Last season's top team is trying to duplicate that feat. We'll hear about the season so far from the team which never plays at home. And we've got another series of series highlights to check out. It's all about the hockey right now on ECHL Week.
Hi, welcome to another edition of ECHL Week. I'm Barry Schickling. It's hard to believe it's been almost a year since the 2019-20 season came to an end, and one of the really good teams from last year, the South Carolina Stingrays, are trying to repeat their performance again this season. It's a new season, and they've certainly made some changes, but particularly at home, the Stingrays are looking good so far this year. Let's hear from some of them.
I know, especially early, the returning guys, once you get back and you see each other for the first time, it was definitely the big topic. We have some unfinished business to take care of. So it's kind of on the back burner, but for the guys that are returning from last year, it's definitely in the back of our minds, and, we're looking to close something out here.
I think our team's just been keeping it simple, our style of play, and I think he's done a really good job in bringing us together and kind of, we're all coming from different places. Either guys have been here last year or, guys are coming from college, juniors, or other teams like myself. So I think, he's done a really good job explaining how to play the game here. And I think all the guys have been starting to click.
I think in any kind of year, we're probably more focused on our game than we are the opponents. We obviously watch a lot of video and pre-scout the opponent, but I think we give our guys confidence in knowing that we're going to focus on us, and if we take care of what we feel is what we need to take care of, then we'll give ourselves a chance to win every night.
I guess you could say it's still a little bit early. We had a group of guys, and and then we lose some to Hershey, and then a new crop comes in, and things change in the ECHL quite often. Hopefully, this is going to be the roster for the next little bit. But yeah, we got some guys that can play. I think it'll take a little bit of time just to get used to each other still. But possibilities are endless. We're just going to compete every night and, hopefully get a little closer to each other and get more comfortable, and, things will start to click and hopefully be good for us.
I think we have a great group of guys here, and I think they brought a great core over from last year. I remember playing against those guys. So, bringing those guys over and bringing some of the new guys in, the older and new guys that we've had. I think we have a really great group here, and I think we, clicked relatively well. So I can definitely see it go pretty far into the summer. Who knows?
I'm really hopeful. Again, I think the league's doing a good job, and I'm hopeful that we'll continue to play and continue to move in the right direction and just kind of take it day by day and deal with different circumstances as they come. But I'm very hopeful and very confident that we'll get through what we're calling here a full season, even though it looks a little bit different.
Time for a look at some more things that have changed between last season and this. Now, it's affiliations. There have been a few changes since last season, so we want to update you regarding which National Hockey League and American Hockey League teams are affiliated with their ECHL brethren. Regarding the 14 teams which are in action this season, although Fort Wayne is still linked with the Vegas Golden Knights, their AHL partner is now the Henderson Silver Knights instead of Chicago. The Greenville Swamp Rapids have switched NHL affiliations. After being aligned with the Carolina Hurricanes in 2019-20, the Bog Bunnies are incorporating prospects from the Florida Panthers this season. Their AHL affiliate remains the Charlotte Checkers. And one ECHL team has switched both its affiliations for this season. The Tulsa Oilers are now the developmental team for the Anaheim Ducks, as well as the AHL's San Diego Gulls. A season ago, St. Louis was the Oilers affiliate, as was now defunct San Antonio in the American League. If you've been thinking about attending a game later on in the season, but have been waiting to see what the schedule looks like, your patience has been rewarded. The rest of the schedule has been released. Games scheduled to be played from April 5th through the end of the regular season on Saturday, June 5th have been announced. Not surprisingly, the final night of the regular season features all intra-conference games: Jacksonville at South Carolina, Florida at Orlando, and Indy at Wheeling in the East, And in addition to Rapid City at Allen, there's also Wichita at Kansas City and Fort Wayne at Utah in the West. Both Greenville and Tulsa conclude their schedules on Friday, June 5th. This portion of games also incorporates many of the ones postponed earlier in the season as a result of COVID-19 issues. Monday, June 7th is slated to be the start of the Kelly Cup playoffs. The top 4 teams, based on points percentage during the regular season, will qualify. And although it seems unusual, the season starts tonight for the Fort Wayne Comets, about 2 months later than every other club. The 14th and final team to enter the fray was given extra time to begin the season, so it would be able to adapt to specific COVID-19 regulations. The Comets will compete in the Western Conference this season and will kick off their schedule in Wheeling. Fort Wayne will start its home schedule next weekend, also against the Nailers. The Allen County War Memorial Coliseum will be allowed to admit about 2,700 fans to start the season.
We hear from the league's manager of officiating next on ECHL Week.
I don't think we're free in this country. For 100 years, you saw black people menaced and targeted and lynched and beaten and brutalized. I think we're burdened by this history. More people have to be willing to do that uncomfortable, inconvenient thing that justice requires for things to get better.
Truth can inspire change. Learn more at EJI.org.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us.
Ready!
That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu. And especially this year, no one has time to get sick. Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
The ECHL's officiating crew, as per usual, is handling its job this year despite added hurdles and complications. We recently spoke with manager of officiating Stephen Thompson to get his take on the first 2 months of the season.
Putting a positive spin on a negative situation, I think it's gone better than we expected. In a difficult way, we didn't know what to expect from the officiating side and from the hockey side in general. There was a lot of uncertainty as we moved into the season. A lot of questions that, daily there were new unanswered questions and situations and things that we went through and to prepare as best we could so that when we did have, officials and employees, players traveling, they were as safe as possible. So, I think all things considered, if you look at the way hockey's gone in other leagues, other countries, I think we're doing really well.
What officials are looking for during games has changed very little this season.
As far as points of emphasis, it's really stayed the same. Our emphasis, player safety is number one, making sure that we're keeping the players safe, especially in regards to the head and neck. And then, we're just staying on top of it, making sure that our restraining falls, slashing falls, we're not losing what took so many years to get to where we are now in our game. We don't want to slide when it comes to those restraining falls and slashing.
What has changed for the guys wearing black and white is what they're being faced with away from the playing surface.
They're filling out an app every morning, which it's not normal. It's not something that they normally had to do. At home, we ask them they can't go to restaurants and a bunch of other things. So it's changing their lives at home as well, and maybe their social lives. So I think, we talk about flexibility, and now we're asking the officials to do all of these things off the ice, which is, weighing heavily on them. And then they still have to go into the game and perform top notch. It's my job to make sure we have our clear path and direction as a staff, that hockey is still the result of, at the end of the day, we need to make sure that that's our concentration, but also, when the game is over, making sure that apps are filled out, we're taking our temperatures and the testing at the arena and all of the other things that we've added now onto their plate, which normally in a normal season, we never have to worry about.
We've adopted a new format for our highlights this season, and judging by the feedback, sounds like a lot of people like it. So let's go and check out some of those highlights from this week. Michael Huntebrinker of the Florida Everblades leads us off. There have only been 2 successful penalty shots so far this season. Here's one of them. Huntebrinker's teammate with the Blades, Hugo Waugh, scores what can be best described as a goal scorer's goal. Rookie Peter Krieger of the Indy Fuel had a goal and an assist on a Matthew Thompson goal on the same shift in this win over Rapid City. Here's Avery Peterson of the Rush, scoring the game winner against Kansas City. Question: which was more difficult, getting the goal or dealing with the post-game dogpile from his teammates?
Bombed right in front of the bench, and the Rush come back to win it.
Another Rapid City highlight, a fine glove save by rookie goaltender David Tendek on his way to a shutout at Indy. Defensemen get breakaways too. Here's Tulsa's Mike McKee leaving the penalty box and converting during a game in Wheeling.
Goal out of the black.
Wichita's John Albert uses some magic during this rush to get the puck into the net. And finally, it's South Carolina's Jesse Lees going coast to coast to cap off a Stingray victory over Greenville.
Lees goes coast to coast, and the Stingrays take a 2-0 lead. Jesse Lees is first of the season. What a move!
That wraps up another edition of ECHL Week. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to follow us on all of our social media channels. They'll help keep you up to date on everything that's going on throughout the ECHL in between programs. We're adding more stuff there all the time, so make sure to check it out. See you next time.